Yes, both teams already shown us a lot of promise up until now, and this will really be a well-earned win, a vital win, I want to say, for one of these teams, because it's going to give them that extra little boost towards the top of the table and away from that relegation zone, and with that towards the playoff spots.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, that's the point of being in the middle of the standings. You have to win these games because you really want to separate yourself. You don't want to be in the relegation. You don't want to play for your spot in the rest of the season. And looking at these level ones, I wouldn't be surprised if you actually see Giants go for one. You have the Condemn, you have the Shen Taunt, you have the Diana Poland if you want to go for that, or maybe go for your Q for some damage. Not to mention, Vi does a little bit of a knockup, but we do see Dragonborns kind of just sitting on the line of scrimmage, which I was talking about yesterday. Kobe mentioned that over in North America. And Giants, I mean, they're just kind of waiting this bush, and a lot of teams do this. And we saw it actually work really bad for a team. I can't remember who it was, but we had a Shen Taunt over the, or Flash and Taunt over the wall, and they picked up that first blood.
Yeah, they were stood on a ward on that one as well. I remember that as well from yesterday, as we see the Jarvan flag put down there by Maluno. He's going to back straight off to this one, looking like they're going for the Wolves. And just to in terms of wards here, quite a lot less than we've been used to seeing, I think we can safely say. Just a couple on the top side, that one red, the one ward on the red side of the bottom of the river, just protecting that entry into blue, but not really too much vision there at the start of this.
And that's the funny thing, is that look at how many wards Giants is currently sitting on. You have one on Shen, one on Diana, three on Sona, as well as a vision ward. They have the ability to put those wards down if they want to, but I guess they feel confident. I guess they researched the teams enough to know where they're planning on going. And actually, yeah, they did use that ghost ward towards that top side. But we are going to have a lane switch. So we're going to have the AD carry support in this top lane, and we're going to have the solo laners over towards the bottom. And that's going to be really interesting because Spawntex is really going to be a key factor if Dragonborns wants to take the dragon, because he has the ability to knock you up. That ultimate is just so key in these fights. And I was wondering, why wasn't he running teleport? And it's because he wanted to do that switch. Oh, Jim Bones.
Wow, he has to use a cleanse there already. His mover gets that stun down onto him. That's a lot of early aggression. Obviously, the lane's been switched up in this one. Sona's actually just gone down to put a ward by the red buff here. So that left Jim Bones a little bit alone. He came out from the turret, instantly gets stunned up, and that's already a vital summoners down from Jim Bones.
And yeah, the whole point of putting that ward was because they wanted to go potentially for Invader. Oh, wow.
So, and that's Hosan,
He's aggressive.
So aggressive. I mean, we've seen him with Draven, exactly how aggressive he can be. He's going to force Jim Bones to completely leave the lane.
And you can't afford to do that on a Vayne, because now Dragonborns, they push that lane up very quickly, who denying him a lot of levels, and they can just boss him around. So they did switch it up. They sent Shen top now because, he's already so far behind, and they should have a decent time against Spawntex. And that whole ward, I mean, they kind of want to get vision on where Maluna was going, but there also was a potential for them to invade and deny it away from him, but not with that cleanse being down on Jim Bones.
Yeah, Hosan here concentrating on the CS as the minions push up here underneath his turret. Actually misses that one there as they are going to get the stun down. Here comes Jarvan from the side. He's got the double buffs on as well. Taunt comes in to move it. Here comes Morden. Morden is going to get the first kill. The first blood coming in there. But can they get any more? Morden now tracking down onto Hosan. Hosan is going to get away. Flashes over the top of the wall. Maluna will push him off from that tri-bush, and that will be a kill apiece.
And that's we've seen this happen so many times, Joe. I mean, we always talk about it. It's going to be a gank if you have those lane switches around 330 mark, and that is why Morden, I mean, that's probably why he's one of the best junglers in Europe at this point. He knew it was going to come. He was waiting on the sideline. Fortunately, he wasn't able to save Samix, but he did pick up that first blood.
Yeah, now that Spawntex has seen, obviously, that Vi is in that top lane, he's not going to be too worried here. And you can see that he does have a ward down on his ramp as well, which, as well as giving them that cover on the blue early on in the game, also keeps him safe from that three-man gank now. Yeah,
that's exactly what you have to do. As a perfect play out of his part, now he's getting a lot of farm. I mean, look to his counterpart. We have 6 CS on Shen, and we have 22 on Spawntex. That's so good for Dragonborns, because Shen, over this past Super Week, has been such a problem for all these teams. How tanky he's got and the split push, but with the CS difference at this point, it really looks good for Dragonborns.
Actually, Vayne behind on the CS as well. Obviously, we did get that assist coming in from Caitlyn as well. That's giving him that second Doran's blade, and as per usual, Hosan is going to be really, really pushing the damage down wherever he possibly can.
Baluna wasn't spotted bot lane.
Yeah, we see him waiting in here. Jim Bones actually is going to go a bit aggressive here onto Spawntex, and I wonder if that little push out here from the monkey is actually going to give away that Jarvan is going to be waiting. You can see Babetta starting to back off Jim Bones. He's not exactly pushed up at this stage either. as he gets to heal off. Spontek's actually doing a good job, and he is going to go in there. Only level 5 right now, but if Jarvan can land the knock-up, this could be a big flash away from Babetta, as Jimbones is going to knock Spontek's back, but still, they're putting the pressure down, and there's the danger. Ignite is ticking away. Spontek's going to pick up the kill. Didn't even need Jarvan.
And this shows you how bad you can lose a game if you have a problem at level 1 action. Since he got pushed out early on, he can't even deal with Spontek, who's level 5 at this point. You can just dive into him, do the damage, and now they're diving Babetta.
They're straight underneath the turret here. They are not worried about this one. Actually, it's Maluno that's tanking up the turret. He's going to pick up that kill. One more turret hit going to come around. Almost dies to it, but almost is not going to be good enough. As up in the top lane, Morden is coming around here. Samuk's actually getting trapped up here as we see the Piltover Peacemaker come across, but Morden going to focus down in towards Hosan. He's going to get taunted up, but I don't think they've got the damage here, or have they? Morden's going to go in. Is he going to go underneath the turret? No, a little bit too scared of that one. Hosan pushing out again as Extermin here in the mid, also going very, very low, just about survives.
And Giants on all fronts right now, Joe, are not looking good at all. I mean, they're down so much at this point. The bot lane can't even afford to do anything. The top lane, Samux is having problems as well. He's sitting at level 3 compared to a level 5 AD carry and a level 4 support.
And I don't know what our catering guys have slipped in the food for these teams here today in the studio, but I tell you what, the action is being unrivaled today compared to what we've had over the last few weeks. Absolutely brilliant stuff here for the start.
And Dragonborn's now in the driving seat. It's up to them to decide what they want to do with this game. They can easily go for Dragon at this point. Spontes can dive completely onto Jimbones without a problem. We have Samux right now just trying to get as much farm as possible. He's already been doubled by his counterpart, and Maluna going for another top gank here.
Yep, Samuk's actually starting to back away from that one. Actually, he's going to nicely shadow dash away from that combo out of Maluno, but again, there's plenty of minions there. They could probably just take the turret here. They're going to have the next wave of minions off, though.
And the thing is, they don't even need to take the turret, because as long as Maluno's applying this pressure, you're denying so much experience from Samux, and he's having a really tough time. Jimbones, wow. The bot lane take a lot of damage from the Monkey King, but he's level 4 right now. And he's in a 1v2 lane. I mean,
yeah, look at this. He's actually going to ulti in on towards Babetta. He's actually not super healthy right now, as he is going to use a deco, go straight in towards Babetta, gets the kill. Jimbones should be able to pick this one up afterwards, but look at the damage coming out. Jimbones almost falling to that one as well, but they've managed to kill him finally. But there you just saw, as you said, the pressure of a much higher level champion in there.
Especially when you're Sona and you're so squishy. But Hosa in the top lane getting caught.
Yeah, ultimate used out there actually by Morden. This is going to be a kill. It is Morden that picks that one up. He goes 2-0-0.
And great job by Giants right now. They're getting back in the game. They got a kill on the Jimbones finally, and now getting that kill on the top side out of Hosan, who's been just dominating his entire lane. He's 20 CS ahead of his counterpart. And Giants, they're clawing their way back in, and they really can do it with the composition they have lined up. As long as they can make it into that late game with a Vayne, she's just unstoppable.
I'm interested to see how this middle lane's going to go. Obviously, could be explosive stuff with Shushay versus Extermin, especially now that they are both up near level, or past level 6, obviously. CS is pretty even between them. Is Shushay going to go in for this one? Can he actually finish off? He's got his ulti available. Shushay decides, nah, I'm not going to flash in for that one, but I think he could have had the kill, to be honest.
Yeah, mostly just like one more hit would take him down. And the thing about Diana is, around level 7, level 6 or 7 is where you become really strong. You should be able to take on most AP carries in the mid lane. But Shushay, I mean, forced him out of lane yet again. He's really showing his presence. He's showing his dominance in this lane, and it's really preventing Exter from doing anything. And that's what I'm kind of surprised, is that he hasn't been roaming around to creating opportunities in his other lanes where they're so far behind at this point. But luckily, they're getting themselves back in the game without his help.
Well, we see here Spontex, Jimbones and Babetta all in that bottom lane once again. Spontex got a 2-level advantage over his ultimate. It's going to be coming off cooldown in just a second. Got that Brutalizer in with the Doran's Blade. A couple of pots to work with as well. Actually does have both Ignite and Flash available to him as well. One thing he doesn't have, though, is Vision in the top sides of that lane. So a little bit cautious not to push out too far. But look at the wards on the top side of the map there. 2 from the red side, 2 from the blue. They don't want to be caught out in any way around there.
Yeah, I mean, it's great coverage. They're trying to stop how Dragonborn is being so aggressive, applying so much pressure on the top. So we have Extra being ganked in the mid lane by Maluno, but not look like it's going to accomplish anything just yet.
No mana. After that, he slides in, he's like, okay, I can't actually do anything extra after that one. But still, if they can force his Diana out of the lane, then it's a winning scenario for them at that stage. Jimbones here actually is 20 CS behind that of Hosan, as we are going to see Morden coming in towards Shuche, but I think Morden's going to have to back away from this one. But here comes Diana. Jarvan going to come around the side. Intervention use. Morden going to use Assault and Battery, as well as Shen is coming in here as well. Flash use. Shuche going to go down, and that is a nice kill. Another kill even picked up for Morden. And I tell you what, Moveit's not safe here. He's going to flash over the top of the wall. That will keep him safe for now. But Jarvan gets taunted up. Now they focus around on towards the AD carry. Great 90 caliber net away. And then the flash as well to avoid the Vault Breaker. And that will leave us at 4-4, 200 or even 150 or so gold. The only difference between these teams.
And Giants are picking them off one by one, Joe. And with how long they've been a team, we've talked about this before, how experienced and how long their time together has really helped them out and benefited them as a team. You're seeing it right here because they're catching back up. We do have Spontex trying to go in. Unfortunately, does get condemned away, and that's, I mean, we're talking about Vayne and Tristana. That's one of her powers, to be able to get you away from her so she can escape. But still, a 4-man gank coming out in the spot lane.
They are in a lot of trouble here. Giants, they both have flash available. Cleanse is there for Jimbones as well. He's going to go invisible. Actually turns around on towards Hosan, but Babetta is surely going to go down. Yes, he will be finished off there by Spontex with the Ignite, but Extermin coming down here as well. Spontex dives back in as he just decoys himself away, and now Dragonborns are on the back foot and not quite connecting there, Diana, and that will be Dragonborn's safe.
A little bit more mana. They had those double ultimates up. They had Caitlyn who just there physically able to do a lot of damage. Actually, might be spotting here. Oh, sorry. Same team. Anyways, we do have Spontex going back to lane, farming it back up. And, you know, the dominance he had in his lane in that 1v2, he kind of lost it here because of that kill he gave over to Jimbones, because he caught up in levels, caught up in CS.
Yeah, really impressed with how Morden's done so far here as well on Vi. Obviously had a lot of presence, and he's really strong already by now with the Spirit Stone in there, plus a pickaxe, so a nice spike of damage for that Vi to try and command this early game. The Wukong and Shen both have that Giants belt in. Obviously, Wukong with a decent CS lead, plus that 3-1-1 scoreline that he has right now, has a Brutalizer Doran's Blade on top of it as well. Shuche going to be spotted here, condemned. Not quite against the wall, but Dragon started off by Dragonborns. They've got 4 men down there. Spontex will join the party as well as he decoys in. That's going to give him the opening. He gets in, puts the ulti down. Extermin going to be the focus. Ace in the hole will actually hit him. He's finished off by Hosan, but Maluno going low. The intervention comes out to save him. Morden's going to Vault Breaker away, but can they lock down Jimbones? They decide against chasing in for it. Well, they'll be happy with that 1-for-0.
That was such a great timing of Dragonborns to go for that, because they knew the Crescendo was down for Babetta. They knew he had no flash, and they had all their ultimates up to go in. So that Dragon baiting them in for that kill helps them get a little bit more of a gold lead. Not able to pick up that Dragon just yet because Vayne is still around. I mean, doesn't have amazing items at this point, but even at this low level, even with these low items, still does an insane amount of damage. And he actually is leveling up those Silver Bolts first, so the more health you get, it's not going to help you against her.
Dragon, of course, wasn't taken down in that last encounter. You see Shen picking up the Doran shield and a chained vest and his last times home. Morden is just going to force Moveit out of this middle lane, push the minion wave up there, and they can then back off and have an attempt at this Dragon. Diana coming in, Shen a little bit off that, but he does have Stan United available, so he can join into that fight whenever he wants. Dragon already started off. Caitlyn is in the top lane here, so Hosan not going to be able to do anything about this. Dragonborns decide completely against contesting the Dragon. Thank you, Jason. And that will bring Giants back to just within 200 gold difference. In fact, it's still around 150 of the way it's ticking over.
Yeah, I mean, overall, that was a really smart play by Dragonborns because they knew Sona had the Crescendo back up. They knew they used their ultimates, or a lot of their ultimates in that last fight. They just didn't really want to force a fight that they weren't sure they could win, which is really a smart move. But, I mean, everyone's going back to farm at this point. That they had their own lead right now.
You see Shuche taking the blue buff over for Dragonborns. Going to be safe in that one as well. No one in the near area. If we look at the CS, actually, Hosan doing a good job of keeping this 20 CS lead. Actually starting to get a little bit bigger than it was earlier. And there's, again, the aggression. Quite happy to get a few shots off onto Extermin, who they know He's not going to be wanting to take too much damage. Hosan just chips away, and Morden, as he comes to back up this middle lane. Shushe going to be coming in from the side there as well. Jarvan's not too far away, but Wukong is the one that's actually waiting in the tri-bush on this bottom lane. Maybe for Vayne to come out, as Extermin going to go in here. They go on towards Shushe. Here comes Stan United. Morden going to go in towards Shushe. He uses his ultimate on himself. Extermin going pretty low, but Kale will die. Mover's not going to escape this one either. Tries to get a last-ditch heal off, but they picked up 2 kills for that one. But here comes Maluna around the side. Gets the knock-up on all 3. There's Cataclysm. Morden going to be the focus, but he is so tanky right now. Actually, will Vault Breaker away. Where's the Dragon Strike? They need it. He dodges the Caitlyn. There it is. Finished off with the flag. And, well, Maluno picks up the kill. That will leave it at a 2-for-1.
And this is why we talk about you can't let a Shen go through. The taunts he keeps landing in every single game has changed the way the fight ends up going. We do have Spontex in his weight. He came up from the bottom, wait on the side, but that is why Shen is so powerful, because now you go back to the top, keep split pushing, finish that Sunfire Cape fairly shortly, and the thing is, Dragonborns can't really do much damage to him at this point, because he's just going to have that armor. That's the downside of having, you know, one of those normal AD carries right now, is if they build armor and health, you can't really do much until you get that last Whisper combo.
And we see Vayne pushing that bottom lane out as well. Actually brought that CS back. I was talking 20 CS. That's what it was hanging around at up until, I guess, a 15-minute point by now, and he's within 5 CS now, but they're tracking down Jimbones on this one. Mover actually going to head down south from the river. He's going to walk towards here. This could actually be really dangerous for Mover. He's going to get condemned there. Not quite against the wall as he gets the stun down onto Jimbones, but the rest of Dragonborns coming in from around the side, but they will just simply disengage and walk back to lane.
And Giants, they have to feel good right now. They have this advantage. Even though they're down a little bit in gold, their teamfight presence is just so strong for them, and by having Samek is just so big as well as Morden, they can do these fights without, you know, worry. We have to talk about Summers a little bit, because we never really go into that too much, but you see Babetta, he's running the only exhaust on his team, and that is strictly for Spontex. When he dives into the backline, he's got to use it. We do have Maluno going in on Morden, though. Yeah,
but you just can't kill him right now. That's the problem. I mean, Ninja Tabby in there, got that Giant Spell Pickaxe and the Spirit Stone, as I mentioned earlier on. The AD carries, we can talk about their items as they're developing a little bit. Home Guard Berserkers, plus the BF Sword Vamp Scepter, double Doran's Blade for Hosan, compared to the BF Sword Berserker Greaves Pickaxe and Vampiric Scepter over for Vayne at this stage.
And going back to the exhaust real quick, so Babetta, he needs to focus his strictly on Spontex when he goes in for the dive. And then over on Dragonborn side, Mover needs to use his whenever Extra goes in, because he's got to stop that damage. I mean, Morden will do some decent damage, but he's going to have to go tanky or he can't survive diving into the backside. So, I mean, honestly, either one you use it on is really going to be helpful, and it's going to allow Hosan to just stay alive and just sit back and attack. And as long as he can, you know, stay healthy, Shushe can afford to use his ultimate on someone else, most likely Spontex, who's, you know, going to the backside, or maybe Maluno, or even himself.
Yeah, as we've seen. Shushe actually there managing to zone Jimbones completely away. As Morden is going to come around. That should be enough to keep that turret safe for now. And Morden's going to say, job done down here. I'm going to have a bit of a dance and walk home.
I think Shen Semix has a tent up there or something, because he's been camping this top side, just pushing as much as possible. His CS, he was so far behind Spontex. He's managed to pass him at this point. And even in total gold, he's only down about 40 at this point. So he's been able to get back in the game. He's that tanky force that it's really hard to deal with early on. As they do get that turn on the bottom. We do have Shen coming in the bot lane, though.
Here we go. Shen going to come down the bottom. Hosan doing a lot of damage to Morden. Will pick up the kill. Shushe puts the intervention on himself. Jimbone's forced to flash away. Will actually get with the tumble behind Babetta to keep him alive with the ultimate. But Diana is coming around the backside. The slow comes down to move it. Here we go. Diana going to aim in there. Actually will miss. Gets stunned up as well. Hosan knocked against the wall with the condemn. But it's not done just yet, because Diana is coming in. Move going to be pulled right back around. And there is the finisher from Extermin. It's 8-8 in kills. For now, at least. Samux is going to get caught up here inside of that Cataclysm. We see Spontex going to the backside, puts the Ignite down. Samux trying to get away from this one, but they've got enough health to get under the turret, but they turn it around. Spontex going low. He's trapped under the tower. Morden will be gifted that kill, and now he's going to keep going as well. Maluno had to tank the turret up as he went. What's Maluno going to do? He's got no mana to really do anything at this stage. As a ward goes down from Morden, he's got full mana as he charges up there. Going to dash flashing towards Maluno. But can he actually get the finish here? Yes, he will, surely, with Extermin coming around that backside. Here we go. As he dives in, they pull him back in, and Maluno flashes over the top. Extermin says, not just yet, not just yet. I'm going to go following in. That is actually a shutdown coming around for Extermin. I'll tell you what, Hosan not too safe there either. What Giants say, enough for now.
I love what Giants did right there. They took Dragonborn's cockiness and turned it against them. They lost the tower at the bot lane, but they picked up a couple of kills there. Then they had Dragonborn's pushing the top side, picked up 2 kills there as well. So they're just getting so fed, so strong. I mean, Samix, if I remember correctly, he survived that engagement.
Yeah. No.
Actually, okay, so I think
he died.
He did die.
Yeah. Yeah, they killed him at the end there.
Yeah, sorry.
But Hosan, yeah, he's going to be taking that red buff away. If you look at the goal, it's still really, really close. 20 minutes in there, as we are going to have a slight pause. Not sure exactly what the problem in there. Apparently, Babetta's chat is currently not working, so the admin's there behind him. That's going to be, I'd say, a nice little pause for both teams here to really have a chat without having to focus on the game. Figure out what's going right and wrong for them and change that as we get out of the pause.
See, so that's something I'm curious about, because I know in North America, you're not allowed to talk about the game when there's a pause, because they don't want you strategizing, if I remember correctly. I think I heard Rivington talking about that. Is it the same in Europe? Because I'm not really sure.
Well, good luck to our German admins understanding the Spanish team and making sure they're not strategizing in between. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure on that one. So I guess if it's in North America that way, then I'd imagine it will be the same.
I mean, it makes sense, especially when it's like a technical problem or a problem in game with like your chat not working. It wouldn't really be fair for any of the teams. But we do have it going to be resuming here in a short few seconds, and Giants looking very strong to pretty much keep this this advantage they have.
Yep, and actually Samex is headed down towards this dragon here, so it looks like Giants are going to be going for it. Not sure what Dragonborns are going to try to do. They've got that pink ward down there. And you can see that dragon is below half HP. As Spontek's going to go in. Too late for the dragon, but his ultimate will get a good couple of knockups here. Extermin dives towards Shuche, but the intervention means he's not getting anywhere. Shut down as a cataclysm opens up here. Samex will flash away. Morden's going to hang in there, but will he have enough health to survive it? Crescendo was good, but the stun just not long enough to keep his teammate alive. And that was 2 kills. Vayne actually went super low as well from Caitlyn in the middle lane. As Maluno now coming in. There's the flag and the finisher. Good pick up by Maluno.
And Jimbone's Hosan went head-to-head in that mid lane where Hosan with that red buff was able to stay alive with that range. And great job by Dragonborns in general. I mean, they lost the dragon, but they still came in, picked up enough kills to make it worth their while, and they might even get the 2nd tier turret.
Yeah, they've got 3 minions in there with them, and to be honest, Maluno and Spontex are both tanky enough here. Both got a Giants belt apiece to tank that if needed. They won't need it though, and that will be turret number 4 for the Dragonborns. They're now 1,500 gold up.
Yeah, and items are starting to develop a little bit more. As we see, you mentioned Spontex and Maluno being so tanky. Yeah, they currently are with those Giants belts. We see the Black Cleaver finishing up now for Spontex. And the thing is, we need to see a Randuin's coming out. I'm assuming out of Maluno, if anything, because you have to shut Jimbone's attack speed down once he finally gets that going. Every 3 hits, he does that % health damage. You have to stop that, but we do see Jimbone's first item, Infinity's Edge. So he's looking to really kill, the squishies of the team, which is Hosan and Shuche at this point, and he honestly could, as long as he has that protection, and as long as Giants, focus on that, they can win this game.
Well, right now Giants just pushing themselves up that middle. Obviously, they only have that 1 turret. That's the outer turret in the bottom lane to their name. In terms of the other items that we've not really touched on here too much, that Warmog's done for Vi. We've got the Locket of the Iron Solari done for Jarvan. The 2 mid laners, Diana, got the Zhonya's Hourglass plus a 2nd Blasting Wand in there. On the other side, there's the Sheen. We've got the Needlessly Large Rod plus the Blasting Wand as well for Kayle.
And we've seen Shuche do this build before in the EU qualifiers. Yeah. He ran that heavy, just burst damage. Samek's going to get caught in this top lane and knocked up.
Yeah, he gets knocked up there, and we see that he's not going to escape from that one. Spontex actually picks up the kill in the end, but a nice little gank, just in case of being caught out of position there for Shen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple... you can't afford to get caught at this point, especially when when you have to be split pushing. But Shuche, I mean, there's a couple ways to build Kayle, and this is, I guess, one of his favorites because you're so bursty that, Jimbone's, like, if he got hit with the full combo, the Q with the Death Cap and the Lich Bane done, you're going to drop 3/4 health, and there's really not much you can do about that as long as Shuche can reach that back line.
And we see Hosan and Mover inside of that jungle as they are going to go in towards Morden, but as we said before, super tanky with that Warmog's already finished on him, but Dragonborns are starting to push towards these inner turrets in both the top and the bottom lane. Shen actually going to join the party in this one as they go in towards Shushay, but obviously he's going to have that time with the intervention. Jimbone's going to chase him back. Actually, we'll get the stun there against the wall. They give Jimbones a kill. Nicely played there from Giants to allow that to happen, and they've stopped the push in the bottom lane as well.
And also nice play by Shushay, because instead of going with Spontex towards the top side, he flipped.
Yeah, Extermin actually used that Zhonya's there as well, which didn't get him away from the fight as he may have done before. Nice block from Bavetta. Will stop that damage going through. So, Dragonborn still not able to take down those inner turrets in the top and bottom lane. Obviously, middle tower on the inner is already gone. They're going to go home, spend the money that they've just earned.
And Giants, I mean, it's step-by-step process what they're doing right now. They take the top turret while they stopped him at bottom, trying to do some damage onto the second-tier turret, and they're turning the aggression that Dragonborn's had against them by playing defensive and being in the right position at the right time. They're able to pick up the kills and then start pushing themselves.
There's Jimbones trying to steal away the golems. Actually, we'll get the small one. Big one. Spontex says, no, you don't. That's actually going to be mine. Or maybe Shush's if he decides to just steal it away there in the end. But Shushi actually following through here. Going to come through a ward. And actually, Jimbones may get caught here just about finishing off the recall before Shushi comes in the bush.
And Joe, looking at items again, just real quickly over onto the supports of both teams. Both went for that early Aegis. Both have the Philo Stones and the Cage's Lucky Pick, pretty much mimicking them. But at this point, we have the Sight Stone done for Bavetta, which gives them a nice little bit of an advantage, and it forces Mover to buy the wards, which, you know, it's kind of counterproductive because you don't have the 3 free wards every time you go out there. But, you know, you have to keep that vision somehow, and he's doing that for his team. And it looks like actually Maluno's helping out with that situation as well. He's got, you know, the tank items he needs, and he needs to help keep that vision, or Dragonborn just can start spiraling out of control.
Yeah, and that's the thing with him being 5-1-5 right now, and probably getting into that kind of tanky area that he wanted to be can start to help out on that front as well, and maybe free up a little bit of gold for the support to go in a different direction at this point. But we've hit a bit of a stale point, 25 minutes into this game. Both teams, you know, knowing that the gold lead is pretty much nothing. I mean, 600 gold at this point is really nothing to be talking about as we almost at half an hour into it. So, Jason, where is the next fight going to come? I mean, we've got Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. Surely that's the point. Yep,
that was the nail on the head. I mean, we're going to see, I have to say, an all-out fight happening because both teams are pretty equal in strength. Vayne is starting to pull ahead for Giants, allowing them to, you know, completely win these fights. But, you know, Dragonborns, they don't really have any big major items to pick up at this point unless we see the Lich Bane out of Shushay. And over on the Giant side, I mean, we have the Sunfire Cape Deb on Shen, we have the Warmogs done on Vi, Diana has the Zona's Hourglass to survive. Maybe the Fan Answer to Jimbones is going to be the next big indicator if they're wanting to force a fight, but it's going to be very even at this point.
Oh, Shushay here chasing down Samox. Actually will use the intervention. And what Samox, you can see, is nice and tacky. And now Morden's coming in as well. Samox is going very, very low. Will flash over the side. Shushay not got that flash available. Is going to try and turn and run from this one. The Vault Breaker going to lock him down. He is going to die as we are now seeing Samox coming in from the side. In the meantime, Dragonborns are pushing out towards this middle inhibitor turret, but here comes Vayne around the side. Mover gonna get pulled in there. The stun comes down. Jimbones actually saved there by Extermin. The ace in the hole was tanked up by him, but the rest of the team are still following in from this one. Jarvan gonna get away. Will Caitlyn be able to do the same? Hosan taking a big chunk of damage there at the end, but he gets behind the tower.
And this is why Home Guard is so strong to have. We had Samox, he backed after that fight at the bottom lane. He got fully healed from it, then ultied into that mid lane right after. Shenny's so slippery with the Home Guard boots, it just makes him everywhere on the map at once. We do have Jimbones Giants going over for this Baron. We don't have a pink ward or an Oracle, so this is going to be very, very hard to pull off. Actually, the pink ward is put over the wall, not in the pit. And we could actually have Maluno come in for a steal here. He is level 13 to the 14 of Morden.
Well, let's see. Baron down to 2,000 HP. Here we go. And it is going to be stolen there. Maluno flashes away. Spontex is in the middle. Look at Extermin being destroyed. Spontex will flash away before dying, and they get the kill onto Extermin. What a move coming out of Dragonborns.
Great move indeed. Miluno just hopping in there and then taking the Baron, popping out with style with the flash, saying, guys, deal with it. I just took your Baron when you're trying to take it. The pink ward, for some reason, was put over the wall. I mean, it looked like they just want to get vision over there to see anyone coming in, but you can't afford to do that when you don't have that vision onto Baron. And then Spontex going in the middle of that pit saying, guys, I'm in here, help me. And ends up flashing out himself, and Hosan picking up that one kill.
Well, that's the nice thing about Caitlyn as well. She's got the range to sit behind the Dragon pit, behind the Baron pit, and actually hit the Baron from that one.
Yep, and we do have Dragonborns taking that. Dragon, as you guys keep saying to me, team killing, never gonna live that one down, getting that Dragon done and extending that.
I didn't want to say anything, you brought it on yourself.
It was gonna come out eventually, I could tell, Joe, but Samic's gonna slightly be in trouble here at the bot lane, but I mean, that's what Shushei built. He has a death cap, he's going for that Lich Bane. He's not much more than that burst. He doesn't have that attack speed to really shred down Samix.
Yep, and now we see the push through that jungle. What do they have ward-wise? A couple there for Tariq as he puts one of them down. Jarvan still having those in there. We've actually got Bladed Spontex. 3 of them now in this bottom lane. 2 to defend. I mean, a simple numbers game there tells you that that's not good news whatsoever for Giants, especially not now as Miluno is going to join the party. Vault Breaker from Morden will just guide him safely towards that inhibitor turret. But to be honest, Dragonborns could keep going. Vayne's nowhere near.
Yeah, and they have the Baron, so any damage can be done. Someone's going to be healed up right away. They have the range on Hosan to go for it. They have the protection out of Miluno, the protection out of Shushei to keep him alive as well. This should be an inhibitor turret if they want to commit to it. Vayne has come back from that top side of the map, but still, we have Spontex pushing the top side, so split push, and the middle turret's already down to half health.
Yeah, nicely done from Spontex. Actually, Jimbone's going out there, and Spontex is going to be happy to allow Jim to keep going in and pulling Jimbones away from the rest of the team here. He knows that at some point they're going to have to commit to something, as we are going to see Samix go in there for the taunt. Diana is going to surely jump in as a great crescendo comes across the 90 caliber net. Here is Spontex. Samix knocked up. Cataclysm comes down, and we do see 3 kills coming out. A triple for Caitlyn. Jimbones and Morden back away towards the fountain, but this is going to be the first inhibitor, and Dragonborns don't care about the rest. They are going straight through. The first Nexus turret here on the bottom side already going to take a lot of damage down to half as Jimbones is sniped off there right on the fountain. First Nexus turret already down. Second one's going to follow up here, and there's no way that they can stop Dragonborns winning this game. Brilliant performance. The Dragonborns going to take down Giants.
And that is right after